daily word for today is joy. How appropriate when we have Faith Rivera in the house. Woohoo! And the affirmation is, I express the spiritual gift of joy. Happiness can come into my life from the world around me. People, places, events, opportunities. These things and many more make me happy. And that's a good thing. Yet joy is different. Such a small word with a sometimes complicated explanation. It's an essential part of who I am, a spiritual quality that remains unaffected by the corporal realm. In challenging moments, joy lingers, helping soothe my soul. Like all the spiritual qualities that define my Christ presence, I feel it most powerfully when I freely share it with others. When I connect with the eternal substance of joy, I find the strength of spirit to face external events or situations. Then he said to them, this day is holy to our Lord, and do not be grieved, for the joy of the Lord is your strength. Nehemiah 8:10. Today's word is joy, and if you could repeat with me, I express the spiritual gift of joy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And now I invite you to visualize our sanctuary as a beautiful heart. And let's just see this heart moving in and around and through each one of us, filling our sanctuary, moving back into Sunday school with Kayla and the children. You know, and we take time right now to just fill our heart with love and caring, compassion. We also fill it with hope and mighty power of prayer. If you know of anyone in need of prayer, see them in our heart. And if you have any circumstance in your life in need of prayer, just bless it in our heart. And there are many circumstances in our world in need of prayer, blessings, love, and support. And we do that right now, graciously living up, moving up that energy, that highest thought, to surround our world in love and prayer. And all of those in need, and all the changes in the world that are happening, we just send them love. And we do so as we sing the Lord's Prayer. And now I invite you to get comfortable where you are. Close your eyes if that feels right to you. And we begin our time of centering and prayer by just breathing. So taking a deep breath, that very breath of life that is God. And we hold it for just a moment. And as we exhale deeply, we begin to relax. We relax into this holy moment. This is our time of reconnecting with the God of our being. And we consciously do this by watching our breath. Taking another deep breath. And as we exhale, we set aside anything that keeps us from being here right now. And once more we breathe in. And as we exhale this time, we rest in the consciousness of our heart. And relaxing our breath. Let it be an easy in, easy out, knowing that each breath Each inhale is God, knowing that God is in me. This is our moment of remembering the magnificence of who we are, knowing that we are blessed in every way. Allow this energy, this life force in you to fill you right here and right now. Allow Spirit to move you. And however you see God, ask God, that life force in you, to reveal itself to you, to allow your consciousness to grow every moment of every day, and allowing Spirit to say, I love you, I know you, I appreciate you. Breathing and relaxing, breathing and knowing the truth, that there is only one presence and one power active in our life and in the universe, God the Good. As we go into a time of quiet prayer, whatever need you may have this moment, truly ask, seek and knock and receive. Allow those blessings to pour upon you in a moment of silence, right here and right now. And now take one more deep breath. And as we exhale this time, we smile. For that is that light, that spirit that shows on our face. And when we open our eyes, we see that spark of life within each one of us. And in these moments, we just truly say, thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, life, for loving us, for showing us the truth, and reminding us to be consciously aware of your presence in everything we do. And so it is. Amen. Yeah. So as you know, Faith is going to be doing our lesson today, and it's going to be fabulous. First of all, I wanted to thank Jim. He brought all these beautiful flowers to celebrate today. When he did all of this, he did it for us. And what a blessing. So now we'll be asking him all the time. Oh, you know how I am, right? Show me what you got and I'll want you over and over again. That's why she's here. So I'm just honored to have her here today because we've done so much together. Yeah.
And so much more.
Yes, so much more to come. So we're so excited because we got plans. And God says, yeah, you do. Right?
We just surrender to them.
So for those of you who don't know, she's a singer, a songwriter, Grammy Award winner. Emmy.
Grammy not yet.
Oh yeah, not yet. Emmy Award winner. and she's a mama and has 2 beautiful children, wonderful husband, and she lives on Oahu now. She just moved back, so that's why we're going to be able to play a lot more. She gave up California for Hawaii.
You don't hear.
Yeah. Okay, I won't say anymore. Anyway, let's welcome her because we love her.
She likes to have blue for smoking.
Oh, blue. Okay, Larry knows.
So aloha again. There's something about when I, come with you, but especially with your Rev Deb, I think there's so much energy that wants to happen. The honest truth is when I did find the bathroom, I was thinking about, how much fun this is. I went to, I don't know what I did. I ripped off the entire plastic cover of the toilet, of the toilet roll thing. Flew off. I'm like, okay, I need to channel my energy. But I just feel so much, joy and just so much here. So thank you for being my home here in Kona. So I was David was there with me. I was at the Hawaii Songwriters Festival. And I heard from Larry, many of you guys didn't even know that happened. But many professionals in the music industry came, and finishing with a concert last night with Jason Mraz and many of these hit songwriters. And I'll tell you what was most impressive on me, or made an impression on me, the open-heartedness that was there from the staff. I mean, I've gone to music industry events and you don't usually have this. It was like a big hug, and I thought, how perfect. I just moved to Oahu and I wanted to continue, my music, and there it was, and it's also led me here to you. So today I'm going to be, I think mostly I'm supposed to be speaking about Ohana, but we'll see what what happens. Everybody knows Ohana? Yes? Family. I want you to think pale pink vinyl jacket, fishnet stockings, high boots up to here, and me singing, "We are family." Taj Mahal, Atlantic City. That was my first professional gig with a girl group. They flew us there to sing "We Are Family" for thousands of Vietnamese. Beautiful Vietnamese people. So anyway, I just thought that was a funny way to start this journey, though, of really understanding what family and Ohana, wow. It's been a journey, and so I moved away in '89. I went to Sacred Hearts on Oahu, born in Kauai, raised on Oahu. Moved away in '89. I've been gone, like 25 plus years. My sweetheart and I, my high school sweetheart and I, who went to St. Louis, we moved up to the mainland, and after all those years, we're back to raise our keikis, our kids, so they can have grandparents and cousins and the whole thing, and so, like, wow. It's a big thing, and I found this. I love this quote by Rob Doss. He says, "If you think you are so enlightened, go spend a week with your parents or your family." And I love it. It goes on, relationship with your parents is not only the primordial, like this first establishing relationship that sets the tone for all subsequent, any other relationship you have, but this was so interesting to me. He said, it is also a good test for your degree of presence. The more shared past there is in a relationship, the more present you need to be. Otherwise, you will be forced to relive the past again and again. That's good, right? So it's only been, I moved on July 12th. It's only been this short time, and I'm just coming to realize so much about my family, more so about myself, and deepening this understanding of Ohana, which is why I wanted to talk about it. And I feel it's my greatest work yet, and honestly, our greatest work yet, and that's why I'm here, and Ohana has everything to do with it. So Ohana comes from the Hawaiian word meaning young shoot of the taro. So you make it plural, many young shoots. So for me, I grew up, in a village of many shoots. My dad rented one room in Kalihi, if you guys know, one room in Kalihi in a house on a not an estate, but on a complex that had like 3 or 4 houses, and we had a shared common area, so that it was very much community living. Everybody was family, whether they're blood relatives or hanai, right? You adopt aunties and uncles. Everybody's an auntie, uncle here, right? And everything we did felt like a community event, including my baths. I don't know why my mom would stick me, where they do laundry, hose me down. I remember people just eating, watching. Thank you, Mom. And they told me, I don't remember this, that I used to line up all the old folks on the stairs and I would lead them in singing and dancing, which is what I still do. So they were my first everyday superstars, for those of you that took that workshop a while ago. So definitely this village, and my husband, Nolan, he has, with his mom, there's 6 sisters, so 5 other aunties, his mom, and 1 brother, 1 uncle. It's unheard of. They went into a family business, all of them. First of all, who does that? Second of all, it was a successful business called Family Superette, a grocery store. And all of the cousins had to go through it. It was almost like a rite of passage. And so not only have they done business together, since I've known him for all these years, they get together not only for Thanksgiving and Christmas, but football games, which happen all the time, volleyball games, birthday parties. They enjoy each other. I mean, all of them. So I didn't really think about it till I wrote this. I'm like, what an amazing example of people really knowing how to be with each other. So I'm just wondering, do you remember how it was for you? Did you see this kind of togetherness? In fact, I want to share this quote for you from Cecilia Kapua Lindo. She writes about the ancient Hawaiians, right, that were here. She says, in the Ohana, there was a sense of shared involvement, mutual responsibility, interdependence, and helpfulness. The Ohana meant love and loyalty. All its members practiced the spirit of sharing and caring. And the word that jumped out at me was practice. They practiced it. Wow, it's such a conscious way to know that the way most of you are here is you practice at home, you practice. But my question was, do you remember seeing this kind of interdependence, this shared involvement in your family, or not? And I think just that mindfulness, awareness, just kind of, lets you have some insight into maybe how you are with family now, how do you like it to experience it. And really, like Ram Dass said, it affects really every relationship we have, that tone. So anyway, I grew up in that one room and all kids. Well, soon after that, my dad was he was a landscaper, but he moved here, to the islands. He started off as a yardman, but he got promoted to landscaper. So now my dad could afford to move out of the one room and get us a place. So I lived in a townhome in Kalihi Valley. We lived on the bottom floor, but I left all those people, right? I mean, I had a community of people all the time, and I didn't realize this till later. I had a lot of room to play. I had a stream out back. I had a yard. I remember feeling lonely, And I think that's why I built a community of furry friends around me. I had my dog Prince, he was a mutt, a minor bird, which I was hoping would talk to me one day. I don't know if minor birds talk. And then I had 10 guinea pigs. Comet, sunshine, starlight, twilight, stardust, there's a theme. And my sister came around a few years later, but really, those furry friends, they were my family. So the story goes, my dad, again, did better. Now he was starting his own company, or he had started his own company, Lawn Keepers Hawaii. With the yellow truck, he'd drive me to private school with all the lawnmowers hanging out, I remember saying, Dad, drop me off further away. Okay, that's an aside. But anyway, so my parents, I love them, and I know we all do our best, And my dear sweet parents, this is what they did. I came home one day, right before we were going to move to this bigger house, which I didn't know about. All my pets were gone. All of them gone. And I mean, I don't remember what I felt in that moment. I think I was a little mad, okay? Fast forward, I'm talking years. I must have been, I think, in my 30s. And I was at this workshop I didn't want to be at. Someone paid for me to be there. I'm like, whatever, I'll go through this exercise. And they're leading you through a graveyard, and you're here looking at your pile of stuff, right? And I'm not into it. And I start crying and crying. I'm like, what am I? All of a sudden, this little 9-year-old girl, I was crying about my Comet and whatever their names were, Sunshine and Starlight and Prince. It just got me. I'm like, what is this? And it led me down this road that, I never got to say goodbye to them. And what I realized, I'm kind of fast forwarding, I had to process that. I realized through this experience that I had created this false belief that to be successful, which to me was to do my music that I loved, meant I lost people at every turn. And I think, remember, we kind of shared this thing about stage fright. It contributed a lot to the stage fright. Being on stage, right, separates me from people. And so I think that's why I created my life the way I did. I moved away to California, right? So I can't lose them. I'm leaving. Goodbye. The career that, I'm so grateful for, but my career was going into communities and sharing real love, real authenticity, but then I leave. You don't leave me. It just, I was like, oh my God, it led to all this stuff. And ultimately, it's why I was so afraid to have a child, I think, because what is a greater thing to lose than a child? So it was such a gift, I think, to have this realization about how that ohana and how it transformed, how it impacted me. And now I could choose, how could I change this false belief, not only to empower me, but to transform my life. So do you know what I did? I mean, obviously, I went through the process, but there was a moment that really, I think, catapulted me or brought me to the other side of this. Is I was about to open, it was the Centers for Spiritual Living, a national conference in Chicago. Michael Beckwith and Ricky were there. They were going to speak right after. I was doing an opening song. They had me learn some epic, the Winter Olympics theme song or something from Canada. And there was multimedia and lights were going to hit the stage. And before I went on that stage, I thought, I'm going to call everyone onto the stage before I perform that I ever thought I lost. I'm going to call my little pets. I'm going to call those village of people that watched me, that would dance with me when I was a little kid. I'm going to call in, my grandma that passed away, my angels. I'm going to call anybody and everybody that loves me on this stage with me. And so now every time I would hit the stage and do this music that I love, that it would be a time of togetherness. It would be a time to harness the collective brilliance of, me and all these people that loved me. And so now that my music and my success would no longer separate me from those I loved. And it was, man, it freed me finally of this stage fright that I finally could experience this joy on stage that I never had. Man, it's so much better having fun. Like no brainer. Write that one down. So much better having fun. Good, Faith. And it opened the door, I think, for me to really understand how to have closer friends. I don't think I ever really opened that door, and really opened that door to be closer with my own family. And it allowed me to say yes to children. And I would say like a month later, Kai, my little son, we conceived him. And the most amazing thing is, so now I say when I come to perform now is, I don't come alone. I mean, I have like a power posse right here. So for the Hawaiians, Aumakua, right? Our ancestors and all that. Well, I had an interesting experience shortly after this experience of me being on stage and claiming, just claiming all of it, that I hadn't lost them anymore. A woman told me that she saw something when I was performing. Now, Rev Deb, I don't know, and those of you that perform, I don't know if you get this, but many times people come up to me, I see your aura, I see Mother Mary's present. You don't need to know this, but it's funny. A man once had to tell me, he waited in line to tell me that a sexually repressed Black woman was singing through me. Thank you. What do you do with that? Anyway, this one was more useful. So I sang shortly after that healing moment on stage, and she said, Faith, when you started on stage, I saw this purple glow that started to envelop the entire room. And she said, dark figures started to appear. I'm like, dark figures? Next to you. She said, all next to you. And then she goes, they're going back. And they're going way back. And back. And then, so what she was saying was, these are all your, she didn't say Almakua, but your ancestors, all these angels, all these beings that are with you. And it was just confirmation for me. I mean, now I feel really good being on stage. I need to remember that. So, but now for the Hawaiians, Aumakua, ancestors, they're almost like guardian angels, right? That could help us if their descendants, us, would only ask. They're considered a part of the Ohana by the ancient Hawaiians. And of course, now I include them in all my shows. No, I'm kidding. I include them in my life, you know. And it's definitely helped me, you know, around that fear factor and that I'm not showing up alone. And in fact, to show you how in tune, you know, at least some of the kahunas I've met, or I took Kumu Lenaala and she brought her a whole family of kahunas to Tucson to the World Congress on Illumination. And they were on a break, and one of the younger kahunas went, you know, to explore in Tucson. There's a beautiful rock waterfall. And while he was sitting there, he said he began to hear the voices and feel the energy of the ancestors there of that land, you know, and just was really filling up. And so he went back to the hotel room, and the moment he walked in, Kumulena Ala said, now who did you bring with you? As if she could feel. So I'm still learning that, especially being here on the islands, and I'm sure many of you must have your own experiences, you know, why you're here on this island, but I'm still looking forward to that part of knowing more about this land and the Aumakua and how they're a part of our Ohana and how it can, make life better, more better, as they say. Okay, everybody knows Lilo and Stitch, right? What's that famous quote? Ohana means family, right? Family means nobody, you know, gets left behind or forgotten. So I'm not sure if these are in your cultures too, but for Filipinos, we always include the ones that have passed away, like my grandma, who passed away almost 20 years ago. She still gets a plate of food at our parties. So they're still partying with us. I mean, what a refreshing way to include that, you know. And then it also goes on to how the Hawaiians really included, of course, nature. And we're seeing now how important that is. This is by M.J. Hardin. She says, a primal sacred family connection ties Hawaiians to the universe, to nature, and to the land and the sea. Nature is where it all begins for Hawaiians. In fact, we call ourselves Keiki Oka Aina, children of the land. The Aina is a heart matter for Hawaiians, much more than just soil or sand. People and nature are siblings born to the same parents at the start of time. Isn't that so beautiful? And I love this one piece I found from, she has a long name, Luann Ha'aheo Guansen. She has this amazing paper on Ohana, tying it with what it has to do with this peaceful world. If you don't mind me sharing this. She says, an old Hawaiian saying states, O ke aloha ke kuleana o kahi malihini. Love is the host in strange lands. Through this spiritual understanding that God is ever present, the common overrides individual greed and gain. The welfare of others becomes more important than personal gratification. By realizing that one's survival and welfare are dependent upon a harmonious relation with other people and objects, one is led to harmonious actions and nonviolence. I must say that it took me leaving the islands, and I think I shared this last time, it took me leaving the islands and meeting Unity folks, Centers of Spiritual Living folks, like you to feel that aloha that would open their homes up to me and other artists when we travel around. I mean, aloha is not just limited to here, for sure. So, okay, where do I wanna, I have all these like arrows and pointy points. I'm not even gonna look at this. I think what I came to was that I've come home, you know, and I really feel it is my greatest work because I heard my cousin told me, I don't have to tell you this, he just caught me off guard with a statement. He said, well, you better speak nice to Nolan, you know, your husband. He's really, I said, I'm nice. Am I nice? Then I told my husband, he said, oh, you know, Andy said that I should really treat you better. So that was one. And then two, he goes, oh yeah, like how you speak to your mom and dad. Me? How do I speak to my mom and dad? So, I have worked there. And I realized, especially moving here, it was very stressful, and I'll be honest, I lost my cool. I had one rant. Yeah. When my husband said, we're going to have a poker party 3 days before we're going to leave. What? But I understand that if I cannot bring home everything I sing about, who cares? None of it matters. I'm glad you can sing Stand Together, but if I can't live that in my daily interaction with my husband, so I think that is our work now, each of us. And I know, with the political landscape, everything going on in our world, I know there are things for us to do out there. But man, I think our work is in here. I think that's why I'm back home. And so this festival meant a lot to me because on the flip side, remember how I said I'd lose people for doing music? I think now I had in my brain now I have to lose my music because I have my family. And I'm like, I'm gonna stop that right there. So I'm still in it. But I know Ohana has everything to do with it. And I'm sorry I didn't write this quote that I loved. You may have seen it on Facebook where it simply says, if someone knows it, say the whole thing, but love is my religion, human is my race. This is like Ohana, like planet Ohana is what is being called for now, this togetherness. So I'm gonna end it at that. I know you guys know, and you're living it here. Communities like this mean so much to me because this is where it happens. This is the answer to everything we see. And for any of you that may be in the angst of, and we all get there, right? Especially when you're scrolling through your Facebook feed of the divide that's happening. What was my brilliant thing I was going to say about that? Oh, that I think it is so, don't you feel it's so giving us clarity on who we are, on who you are, on who you choose to be, and how you want your life. Because you almost feel like we have to fight for it. But fight is not the word. I don't know. We have to love. We have to love for it. Maybe that's a new slogan. We have to love for it. So with that, I'm gonna sing together, which to me is we can use it as a song to declare our yes to doing that work and to being that presence of love, to being that solution. Because you are, each of you, me. And I will tell you next time how well I'm doing or not.
And before, I was thinking of a couple of things before because Faith, her concert is at 12:30 today. We have tickets for sale. Carla has them. They're $15. Oh, they're over there. Dawn has them. And also, Faith has a table of products that she also sells. So it's wonderful if you want to get any of her CDs or any of her necklaces. She has lots of jewelry. We love that. And so you can buy a ticket. We also brought a lot of refreshments to encourage you all to stay because the concert will be at 12:30. And so on that note, it is a time when we receive our tithes and offerings.